please.
Anyway, I want to go back to my original point, responding to Robbie. He mentioned that, sorry, I don't know what I'm starting. We need to take accountability on both sides. So my response to him was, so haven't Palestinian kids been blown up for years, and haven't they been suffering post-traumatic, stress and whatnot from everything that's been going on? You can't look at one side and not look at the other side. That's a double standard. So in the same way that one side is being bombed, another side has also been bombed for many years. And the lack of accountability and the lack of awareness that people have is really problematic. Because whereas what's happening in Israel, the most recent bombings, which started a couple of days ago, by the way, has had the whole world blown up about it. I don't understand why the other side, the Palestinian side, hasn't had any. That's a double standard to me. I can't stand that.
Thank you, Giselle. I'm gonna give Norm a minute to rebuttal, and then we're gonna move the mic around. Norman.
Here I am. So, I'm trying to follow the thread of Giselle's objections. Hamas is not just arbitrarily designated a terror organization. They are not the legitimate government of the Palestinian, so-called Palestinian people. The Palestinian Authority is. If we put down our weapons, there will be no more Israel. That's what Golda Meir said.
1 minute, Giselle.
I'm going to try and make this really quick by just saying the obvious. The numbers are not comparable. So if you tell me that if Palestinians put down their weapons, there will be peace, and, any Palestinian would say the other way around very easily, and the numbers speak for that. So that's actually a baseless statement.
Thank you, Giselle. Hold on, everybody, hold on, man. Let the ladies go, and then I'll get back to you, gentlemen. I know you're dying to talk. Ms. Clark, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm going to be really quick when I say this. For me, sitting up here being an American and being a prior military veteran, all this is happening because the American government just won't step back and let what's going to happen. Realistically, regardless of how y'all feel about it, across both of y'all have initiated conflict with other people. You can say that the Palestinians initiated with Israel. Israel has initiated with Palestinians. Israel has initiated with Iran. At the end of the day, America needs to step back and let y'all figure it out. Because peace at this point isn't an option. And I know it sounds crazy to say that. It isn't. So we just need to let y'all duke it out, figure it out, and go about y'all way. I get real tired of the rocks being thrown and then trying to hide my hands in conversations, because it seems like everybody is perfectly capable of pointing out what other people did to them, but they're not capable of holding themselves accountable for the shit that they do. The reality of it is war. You have to be responsible for the intentional deaths, just like you have to be responsible for the unintentional deaths. And to sit here and think that you're going to be able to go and educate children on why you blew up their parents and them not have some feelings against you is crazy in my mind. And it's going to keep going until finally somebody's the bigger person and just says, either it's going to be an all-out war and we're going to stop pickpocketing and nicking and doing all this other stuff and ending it and dealing with the repercussions of it, because this idea that y'all can go and cause harm to people, and people aren't supposed to have sentiments simply because you quote-unquote educate them about something. I don't give a damn. If you came into my community and aired out my family and you shot up a single terrorist in the case that was talking bad about you, but in turn you killed 20 innocent people, guess what? I'm going to have my feelings and sentiments about you. And I might just go back into your community and air your asses out too. And that's the reality of it. And instead of people just being honest and saying, hey, we're getting innocent people caught up into it and we have to take responsibility for that, it's a bunch of if and what's about it, and it needs to stop.
Well, Ms. Clark, I love what you just said, because that's what I've been saying. We killed their family. How do we, and see, that comes with the arrogance and non-accountability in my community. We're so arrogant, we think we can just indoctrinate these people not to hate us anymore. So what's the outcome? Hold on, W, man, you come off mic again, I'm kicking you out. I know you want to speak. Aziz, I know you want to speak, but I was very clear when I said I'm going to let the ladies speak first. But you're right, Ms. Clark. We're going to kill people's families, and then we're going to expect to have s'mores with them. Zed, hold on, bro. Thank you. Jessica, how you doing? Jessica, are you there? All right, I'm going to go to McZed next. McZed, how you doing?
Doing okay. I agree. I think that both sides need to take full responsibility for all of the actions they're taking, both righteous and cruel. I think that both sides are basically standing at each other and saying, we hold before you a blessing and a curse. The blessing is peace. The curse is war. And then both sides choose.
Thank you, McZed. Appreciate you. And be careful what you say. You might lose your Jew card. Let me go to Doug. Doug, how you doing, Doug? Doug Bully, you there?
By the way, JB, his Jew card is the Torah. It's not revocable. Not
Okay.
revocable.
Says you. You haven't got the smoke I got.
No, that's the law.
Okay.
It says the law.
Okay, thank you. Let me go to Aziz, then W. Aziz, what's up? Aziz.
Yeah. I think the issue is, I mean, we talk about what Hamas did with the money, but something is missing, and it's the accountability from the people that are like sort of pro-Israel, right? I mean, since 1967, there's been a systematic military lockdown, political, economic, land and sea, and according to the Geneva Convention, if you're an occupying power, you're sort of responsible for the welfare of the people, right? And so it's the lack of accountability. You can say, oh, well, Hamas are in control. Well, they haven't had an election in nearly over 20 years, right? And even since the Oslo Accords, 2005 disengagement, they've controlled taxation, import, export.
Hamas is owned business. They haven't had an election.
If I could just finish my point. So that being said, there's a level of accountability, not even just legally. Let's just say morally, ethically, but I mean legally, you're obliged based on the Geneva Convention to be accountable for them, especially given the fact that they haven't had an election in 20 years. Given the fact that Israel's a democracy, you need to sort of lean into the democratic element of what's happening here. Now, when you look at Hamas, yes, they've made it clear that they intend to wipe out the Jews. Let's say, let's run with that one. Well, the reality is, are they capable of that? We saw on October 7th that there was the biggest attack on Jews since the Holocaust, and I believe that needs to be investigated, and we need to look deeper into that so it doesn't happen again. I have questions about that, but we won't get into that.
Aziz, land your plane.
Yeah, I'm about to land. And I know I won't get into that, but the reality is, are Hamas capable of eradicating Israel? Are they in existence? One second, please. I'm about to land. I'm about to finish. Their statement of intent is genocidal, let's say. I'll agree to that. But are they truly capable? Are they truly an existential threat? I don't think so. The people that are being governed by Hamas have not voted in 20 years. Large portion, at least 30%.
Now you're repeating yourself, bro. Land your plane now, please.
I'm about to land it.
You've been saying that for 10 minutes. Let's go.
Right. I'm about to land it here. This is my final point. Given the fact that the majority of the people have not had an opportunity to vote for Hamas, I believe that the treatment of the people is considered collective punishment, and given there's no real existential threat from Hamas, I believe this is an overextension of military aggression and should be condemned.
Thank you, Aziz. I'll circle back to you, I promise. Sig, are you there, Sig?
Yes, right here.
I have a question for you. You think if I step away for 5 minutes that we can still have the quorum in this room and not chaos? What do you think the odds of that happening?
We'll maintain it, man. If you got to step away, bro.
I have to step away for 5-10 minutes. I'll be back. Sig, you're in charge. Guys, one mic at a time. Sig, if anybody comes off mic when they're not supposed to, just move them to the audience.
Roger
that. I'll you now.
Roger. Who was next after Aziz? Was anybody next in the queue? All right, cool. Well, we got new people on the stage, so I'm going to do this in JB fashion. Looks like we've got Jessica. I don't know if you talk. Keegan, you're on. Actually, Keegan, if you want to go, you grab the mic. And W, if you want to go after Keegan, you can. Keegan, you got anything to say? Hey, W, welcome to the stage, man, if you want to go. We can't hear you, brother. All right, well, I'm going to open it up. If anybody wants to respond to what Aziz just said, but we'll open it up popcorn style, but just please one person talking at a time.
mean, I guess I'll give it a shot. So, the Arabs of Gaza, the Arabs of Judea and Samaria have chosen not to have elections. Okay, that's their choice. So they don't have the democracy. I don't know of one single democracy in the Arab world, not one. And that's okay. Maybe they don't value that. The only thing they can't do is kill Jews. I mean, I don't even want if they kill each other, that's up to them, although they do get in trouble for that. Now, here's another thing. A gentleman said earlier that Israel had violated a treaty. That is not the case. The reason why is because the Arabs never agreed to any of those treaties. So I want you to ask yourself the following question. Palestinians claim there's an occupation, the idea that they started calling themselves Palestinians at some time in recent years. They didn't call themselves that before. The Arabs of the land claim there's an occupation. Ask yourself, which part is occupied? And who is making the claim to the land? These Arab folks who live there. And what is the basis of that claim? The United Nations said, let's divide it up. The Arabs got 22 countries in the region and all of the oil. Let that sink in. 22 countries. You can barely see Israel on the map. If you write the name Israel, you're covering the entire country. It doesn't fit. It bleeds over into Egypt and Lebanon. That's how tiny it is. And yet they don't want to let it exist. So ask yourself why it's so intolerable to some of these Arab Islamist fundamentalist terrorists that Israel exists at all. Why can't we have one Jewish state in our indigenous homeland? And I'll land it there. That should provoke a little conversation.
A simple map, by the way, of the progression of the Israeli settlements will explain to you that Israel doesn't own exactly what it is shown to own now. If you look at the progression from God knows when, 60s maybe, even before that, actually from the 40s, then you can see that Israel, as a country, as a state, started very, very tiny in 2 patches maybe, and that's incrementally been increasing year on year. And now it doesn't, it's not rocket science to understand how that increase happens. But
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it together. Don't even mic up. So, number one, are you making a distinction between a country and a state? Because there is no such distinction. They're the same in this case. Do we agree on that? Giselle?
Undecided. Okay.
Okay. So, all right. It's a member of the United Nations.
I'm calling it state because it's the better. For me, that's the better explanation to say this.
Well, they're a country and a state, or a state and a country. Most countries, they call themselves state, interchangeable. Those words are synonymous in this conversation. So that's numero. What's that?
That's semantics. Okay.
Yeah, it's the meaning of the word. Okay, fine. Now you say, how did this tiny, 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 tiny country, which only got a fraction of the land that was promised to it, how has it grown? Well, I will tell you. In 1967, we were attacked by 3 much larger Arab. What?
It was before that. The progression starts before.
Okay, before I left, I said if somebody's speaking and you interrupt, you get moved down. I'm not playing. We have to have the honest dialogue. Norm, you got 30 seconds, and I want to get a new speaker, please.
Okay, I wasn't speaking, JB. We were having a back and forth.
Yeah, JB, they were having a back and forth, man.
Okay, my bad. I'll bring it back up. Go ahead.
It's okay. Yeah. Wait, you sent her down? She was fine.
Oh, I didn't know that, Norm. Just continue.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so Israel has, I don't know what you mean by settlements, but Israel grew when its neighbors attacked it aggressively and lost the wars. So up until 1967, Egypt controlled Gaza. Egypt lost that war, lost the Sinai and Gaza, and then when we made a peace agreement, Egypt didn't want it back, so Israel got responsibility for Gaza. Didn't even want it. Same thing with Judea and Samaria, or similar. Jordan attacked also in 1967, lost the war. Israel got control of Judea and Samaria, which many people call the West Bank. So we can take it from there. Giselle, if you want to respond on it.
Giselle left because I moved it down, which is fine. She'll be back.
Okay.
Doug, are you there, Doug? Aaron, how you doing, Aaron?
Yo, what up?
You want to chime in or no?
Pretty much I had a similar sentiment as some of the other speakers earlier. I mean, y'all been fighting for years. At this point, nobody really cares who started what. Y'all both doing fucky shit. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, just either leave that shit alone or do what you got to do to end it. Because at this point, people start hearing about it.
Thank you, Aaron. Keegan, how you doing? Keegan, are you there? All right. Jessica, how you doing? W? Can't hear you, bro. You might have to leave the app and come back.
Is it okay if I ask a question?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Do you think that realistically the majority of Israel will be comfortable if America just said, we're going to leave you to your own devices and whatever happens, happens?
No,
Sure, why not? Why not? I mean, America didn't help Israel until 1967. We did fine on our own. But Israel has an economy of $600 billion, which is one of the highest in the world. Per capita is 52,000. The reason why we have an exchange of military equipment with the United States is because it's in the U.S. interest. That's the only reason. The U.S. gives aid to many, many countries, but it does not get from other nations the kind of return that it gets from Israel.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like asked that. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, if you would, in the case, America's been giving Hamas a fortune. It's been giving Egypt a fortune. It's been giving Pakistan a fortune. When it comes to the Palestinians, it's like pouring money down the drain. I mean, they made a terrorist infrastructure. Now all of Gaza is rubble because they built all those tunnels from which they decided to attack Israel. So there's all that money is wasted, whereas Israel has created technology, created medicine, has created schools and infrastructure and buildings. I mean, Israel is like a first world nation.
I guess that's the reason why you bombed all of it, right? But can Iran do that to you?
Well,
can Iran say, yeah, you have a tunnel down your shit? Like, can Iran, yeah, use every part of it? Say, Tenerife, it's got bare tunnels where we know it's got tunnels anyways, right? Because that's where you run and that's your shelters. Can we say that? How? I mean, what type of knowledge or conversation are you asking? Does that mean that you can murder somebody, that a child can have a bullet on their skull, like a 2-year-old? Like, what is the excuse on that? If you're saying open warfare, you saying everything is fine, I guess you cannot cry to me when I see whatever Iran does, yeah? Don't you bloody dare cry to the rest of us. Do you hear me? Don't cry to us. Nobody's if I see a child over there, yeah, don't say, look at what they're doing to us over here. Don't you dare do that. Because we've already heard that for 2 years. You've made us unhuman. Am I correct? Our humanity is lost.
Well, let me ask you a question. Wait.
My humanity lost.
Hold on a second, lady. You can't just come up and talk nonstop without getting some interjection. Are you Palestinian?
I'm human. I'm human.
Okay.
I'm allowed to be human.
Well, you say when I don't know if you're human or not, lady.
Well, I'm not bloody rude.
Listen, shut the fuck up. Let somebody else talk, you fucking ding-a-ling. Like, what the fuck is wrong with some of you people? You say you're human, but you don't have a human conversation. It's bizarre to me. I asked you a question because you said we. We are getting bombed. Our kids are getting killed. So when I ask you a very simple question, are you Palestinian? Obviously that triggered you. Now, if you want to come up and have the real conversation, which you're saying we're not having, you're more than welcome to. But when other people speak, maybe you'll learn something by shutting up. I can't bring her up, Sig, if you want to bring her up.
Yeah, let me try to bring her up.
Maybe I should also to reframe my question, because like when I say that America should not be hands-on in any way, shape, or form, I am talking about pulling back all of that money, pulling back all of the weapons, pulling back anything that we would send. Because I know, like, recently, like, if you want it, yeah, as my husband is saying, if you want it, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with our arms dealer selling it to you in that case. But when I say, like, America stepping out completely, I mean for everybody across the board. No more aid, no more funding for anybody. Is that something? Because I know we sit up here and people brag about Israel's billions of dollars and stuff, but we don't like to account for the fact that America sends billions of dollars to y'all too. So I'm really asking the question: if America really went hands off, is that something y'all could tolerate and deal with?
Of course. I mean, right now, Israel is defending all of civilization. Iran has promised to engulf the world in a ball of fire. That means a nuclear weapon. Well, believe me, the Western
Well, you
world,
have
the
a
European
weapon.
nations,
You have a nuclear weapon.
but
Right,
we haven't
all right.
threatened to use it on the world because we're not going.
Suad, I'm going to give you one last warning, then you can go to some other room. I don't really care. But the man was talking. Let him finish. Go ahead, Norm.
So the difference is, by the way, Israel hasn't admitted it, which I'm not saying that makes a difference, but it's true. And of course, Israel never has and never will threaten to use that weapon to blow up the world and to blow up the United States, as Iran has.
Thank you, Norm. I want to say hello to Randy. Randy, how you doing? Randy. All right, let's go to Suad. Suad, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Yeah, I'm just saying here. What does Israel have the audacity to tell other people how to behave? Especially when they already have the whole of the Arab supporting them. They got Egypt supporting them. They have Jordan supporting them. Right? What is the poor little Palestinians doing to you that you are so threatened by? Why can't you just leave them with the Gaza? Why can't you just leave them with the West Bank? Why can't you just give them the place that they were already given? They're not asking for nothing big. They're not asking for nothing. Like, why can't you just but hear me out? Because I can disturb you, right, sir? Why can't you give them land, sea, and water? Why can't you give them air? Why can't you
Listen, yeah. I'm going to say something, yeah. Okay, you have to have a conversation, yeah. That means you have to let other people talk, yeah.
Well, I have.
Get it?
I have. You
haven't
told me
actually.
to talk.
You
You said
haven't
go
actually,
ahead,
yeah.
say what? Did you not say that?
But you don't have a dialogue, yeah.
Well, I have that. I don't know what language you think you're speaking at, but that's not my language.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's Europe. We're helping you out. Do the hate.
You know what? I can't even hate this lady. You want to have a dialogue with Normo or not? Suad.
Yeah, go on, doo-doo.
Doo-doo. Cocky.
Yeah, you doo-doo. What the hell? I'm going to cuss you out comfortably because you're telling me how to talk.
Yeah, poopy head.
Listen, good Muslim women, good Muslim women don't curse out people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not cursing you. I already told you where you at. You're from the toilet.
I know, I'm a cocky head.
Yeah, from the toilet side.
But sorry, JB.
No, go ahead, Miss Clark.
No, because, like, I was listening to Elle, and let me say this now, like, maybe it's because I grew up in a black school. I'm used to people talking shit. People always talk about who they're going to put hands on or who they're making their threats. Until you actually put action behind it, it's different. I could care less about Iran and them talking about how they're going to blow up the world and so on and so forth and yada, yada, yada. Is you doing it or is you not? Like, I think that's kind of like the point that a lot of Americans are. I look at actions more than anything. Does that mean that I'm not going to take you as a credible threat? Yeah, but until you and be prepared, absolutely. But I think there's like I said, maybe it's because I grew up in a black school. We heard all the time people talking about how they always going to whoop somebody's ass on Friday. And then when Friday came around, the ass whoopings never happened. So that's kind of like the way that I see Iran is, you know, you can talk all the shit you want to talk. I'm not going to brush it off. But I'm that kid with the pencil on their shoulder. Knock it off and see what happens.
So, Ms. Clark, you probably didn't know that Iran has already fired tens of thousands of ballistic missiles before we attacked on the 13th of June. Unprovoked. Iran surrounded Israel with what they call a ring of fire. So they are supplying and controlling the Houthis in Yemen, firing ballistic missiles into Israel. They fired one, I'm going to say at me, but I'm kidding, when I was there a couple weeks ago, and they missed me. It landed near Ben Gurion Airport. They also funded and trained Hamas to do the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. So it's not just talk. They have expressed their intention to destroy the Jewish nation, and they have acted on that intention. It's not just talk.
Okay, so let me say this once again. I think we missed the point. I could care less what they do to Israel. And I know that sounds, y'all can hate me for it. I could care less what they do to Israel. What I'm saying is, as an American, what are they doing to me? That's the point that I'm getting at. Because, like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and act as if Israel hasn't done its shit or initiated this conflict that has led to them doing the stuff that they're doing to y'all now.
Let me answer what it's done to the U.S.
Hold up. Because my question still stands. Even in the situation that you brought up, when I mean like America's hands off, I also mean that when Iran formed that ring of fire and we were there shooting off our ballistics to help stop some of those things from making impact, I'm talking about America not even being there to do any of that.
Right.
That's
So
what I'm saying by hands off.
Let's talk about what they've done to America. Beginning with their very inception in 1979, they took our embassy, which you don't do, by the way, internationally, killed our diplomats and held the rest hostage. Yeah, Iran did that. 1983, they murdered.
Imagine.
America. American embassy. It's in 1979. There's a movie about it. It's called Argo. You should watch it. Very interesting. That's when this regime came into power. You probably didn't know this stuff. 1983, they murdered our Marines in our U.S. embassy in Beirut. Iran did that. We never got them back for it. Israel went and attacked Nasrallah.
You're a joke.
Honey,
You're a joke. You're an absolute bloody liar. Who's interrupting? I'm happy to hear from you. The U.S. embassy was bombed by Iran in 1983 in Beirut. And a fellow behind us called Nasrallah. Nasrallah was also behind the murder of 650,000 Arabs in Syria. Israel took him out in the last 16 months. But that's not all. Iran has attacked U.S. interests 170 times since the beginning of this war in Gaza. So yes, Iran has been attacking U.S. citizens the whole time.
So what it sounds like to me, respectfully, is they're getting attacked in foreign places where those people have access to, which is gonna happen. Like I said, I'm prior military. That's nothing new under the sun for me. It's gonna happen. You have people who get our bases and embassy and stuff and other places get attacked. I'm asking directly, like respectfully. It don't involve. I'm not even asking. I'm just saying it does not involve us. Whatever happens to Israel happens to Israel.
Josie, America is listen. I tell you why.
Can you calm down?
I tell you why.
Can you calm down? I promise you, when you speak, I'm not going to cut you off. What I'm saying, as a Black American and as a veteran who has served this country, we need to butt the fuck out.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
And what happens to Israel is going to happen to Israel due to their actions and inactions, and they have to take responsibility. I'm saying that America needs to pull out completely, which means no aid, no service. Just let y'all.
Ms. Clark, let me ask you a question respectfully, because I'm just trying to get clarity. So you're basically calling for America to be an isolationist country.
No, I'm not saying be an isolationist country.
Why is America in isolation?
What I'm saying is when it comes to certain conflicts, understand that is y'all's fight, not us. It's kind of like how we're the big brother in school and your little brother been talking shit to all these people, repercussions that come for him to get his ass whooped. At a certain time as a big brother, you're going to say, look, you run your mouth too much, you done did shit.
You have to handle it. Handle you shit.
Like you're going to have to handle it. That doesn't mean that I'm going to isolate you or do all this, but you going to have to handle this conflict on your own. And when it's done, yeah, it's done. I'm here. But outside of that, nah, this person in your same weight group, your same weight class, you're going to have to square the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. It's in the Middle East.
Everybody hold on.
Israel is in the Middle East.
Everybody hold on. Shut up, lady. I want to welcome Sarah to the stage. Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
I'm good. Should I add to answer Miss Clark's question as someone who's an Iranian American?
You're more than welcome to. Let me just say this. I only got like another 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to leave the room to you and Sig, because I know you guys can handle it. But go ahead, Sarah.
Thank you. Miss Clark, so let me give you and just for your knowledge, I'm not Jewish, so I have no like personal interest in Israel or for Jewish people. Like there's no personal interest. But let me tell you, like I understand you saying that okay, Iran has made threats to Israel and has performed them, like has made attacks, but it hasn't made attacks to the U.S. Well, they don't have the power right now. If they would and could join all those, like Shia country and nations in Middle East together and destroy Israel, and they have the power, then they're going to come for you and me, right here in America too. They have made threats already that they're on the way to make measles. They're going to make it all the way to America. They don't have that power right now. That's why you don't see them do anything, But if they ever have that power, they will. So whether people like this or not, I'm going to get a lot of pushbacks, but Israel has been fighting our fight for the last 46 years. And I know that because I lived in Iran. I was born here, but I went to school there. I went to elementary school. I went to middle school. I went to high school. The hate and the way they try to spread that ideology is very, very real. It's so real. And this is not a war between Iran versus Israel. This is a war between Iran versus Israel and America. I never remember them saying death to Israel and not say death to America. They didn't even have flags of Israel on the entrance of our schools. The entrance of my school was a flag of America. Do you know how many times I got fired from schools for not wanting to step on American flag? It's like a traumatic experience. For someone who was born, in America, and as a kid, I considered myself American, it was traumatic. But for people who don't know about West, they don't know about America, and they constantly educate them on how terrible America is and how bad it is and how they're only out there to get us. Trust me, this is a real threat. I'm not pro-war. I am absolutely not pro-war, but this is a just very, very complicated, issue problem.
Let me just jump in for a second. Sig, Sarah, I got real life stuff to take care of. You guys want to keep it open, Sig? I know Sarah definitely will help you.
Yeah, we can keep it open for a little bit. Yeah, that's fine.
And JB, you have yourself a good day too. Be
thank
good
you,
at
ma'am.
work.
You as well. But Sig, good luck handling Sarah because she's a firecracker. Don't let the pretty face fool you. Guys, have a great day. I'll be back later.
Hey, you too, JB. We'll talk to you.
And Sarah, let me say this right now. This is what gets me. A lot of countries, if given the opportunity, would strike at America. But that does not give us the right to go out here and say, well, if the potential ever arises, we just gonna dead it now and just fuck y'all up. Like that's what I'm saying. Like what you're saying to America isn't anything new. We've always had threats against us. Hell, even China and other places are coming against us. And we understand that if they ever get the power to overthrow us, guess what they're going to do? They're going to do it. But just because they're going to try. Well, my husband's saying they're going to try. But just because we understand that sentiment exists doesn't still give us the right to go. Because, respectfully, fuck these other people up and go in there and say, well, we understand that y'all had these sentiments to do this, so we just struck first. Like I said, people can talk shit all day. We have a myriad of countries, even ones that we're quote unquote in partnerships that are supposed to be our allies, still talk shit about America and talk about how they would overthrow us. That still doesn't give us the right to go in and do that shit. It's until you poke me, or like I said, maybe it's because I grew up in a black school, but until your hand make contact with me, I'm gonna hold my hands. That don't mean I'm not gonna take you serious. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna prep for it. But at the end of the day, until you put hands on me and I'll whoop your ass, that's all I can say. Because me jumping on your ass and then both of us going to the principal's office, I can sit here and talk about how you've been saying shit all day. You talk about how you gonna whoop my ass in PE. You talk about how you gonna whoop my ass in history. And the principal gonna do what and say, has he put hands on you? No, you put hands on him first, so you're getting in trouble. You initiated it. And that's the way that I see it.
I mean, Iran does their little pokes and prods all the time, and when they do, they get their ass slapped. They're not gonna do no direct attack.
When did they do that? When did they do that? Wait, when did they do that? Give me a date. Because we have news every day. Everybody has news. Everybody has TikTok. Everybody has Facebook. Like, when did they do it? When did we see that happen? Because we saw what Israel did. Israel has been begging for Iran. Like, I've never met anybody beg for Iran and say, I want Iran, I want Iran. Like, what do you want me to do?
Now, Iran has done its shit.
Miss Clark,
Gonna play that game.
let me
Iran
speak,
has done
please.
its shit squad. Both of
Clark.
y'all is like the two badass kids in the back seat poking each other. They two
Listen,
dogs barking at
Miss
each other.
Clark,
Ready to
Miss
fight.
Clark,
They
I
not
want to
ready
ask
fight.
you. I want to ask you guys a question. What will this think about this question, guys, for everybody, especially for the Israeli people? The innocent Palestinians, people who are being killed, the innocent young kids, because AL is gone. How would they grow up if their father or mother passed away and died? How would they will take action? Maybe, God forbid, so I hope they don't do that. They will now start.
That's the reason why they're killing them. Because they don't want the day of that.
No, I know, but listen to my point. Is that you Israel people, right? That who's Israel? You think that they're teaching the kids in Palestine to become a terrorist? No, that's a wrong teaching. You guys have a wrong mindset. The innocent people living normal life, learning about Islam and everything. The question is this: you go and killing their parents or killing their brothers and sisters. What do you think will happen in the future of their thinking of that young kid, mental mindset? You think they will be quiet, or they will start getting frustrated and maybe go and try to create a group to defend them?
Bro, let's forget about this. Gaza doesn't even exist. What is the definition of Gaza? Because we know, ain't nowhere the Jewish people are supposed to live there. There ain't no supposed to be, I'm supposed to see my neighbor from next door to the other side. Ain't no way I cannot visit the capital, right? The capital that is given to me. I can't visit London, like the capital.
I think the problem I have,
What's
guys,
happening?
can I just say one thing? I think the problem I have is that the framing of this, right? People seem to be claiming that America's trying to liberate Iran, right? But, and they're blaming this nuclear weapon situation. Well, they've been talking about Iran having nuclear weapons for 30 years. The reality of the situation is not nuclear weapons, it's not liberation. This goes all the way back to Mossadegh. Before the Shah of Iran, he nationalized the oil, and America and Britain did not like it. If you do your history, ask ChatGPT, it will tell you America used to own Iran's oil before 1940 and until Mossadegh took control and he nationalized the oil. They took back the oil, and America and England have never forgiven them. They organized a military coup from Mossadegh and they put the Shah of Iran back in place, and he helped Britain and America get more control over Iran. They had a natural resentment to the Shah because he was brutal. If you do your history, I don't know why people seem to be glazing.
I hear you. Go on, he was brutal.
If I can just finish my point. I don't know why there seems to be a glazing of the Shah of Iran right now. Do your history, was a brutal man. And the reality is, I don't think that Israel wants to... what happens when Israel liberates Iran? Does it become Afghanistan? Does it become Iraq? Ultimately, what's happening here is Khomeini and Netanyahu are borderline fucking retarded. Neither of them should be trusted with the nations that they're in control of. And what we're seeing here is people just falling into the rhetoric, right? Falling into the traps, typical traps. Ultimately, what's happening here is these places are supposed to be destabilized. There's not supposed to be stability in Iran because of how potentially capable they could be. They're too capable when it comes to the oil. Their potential's too high, and so they have to be unstable. So I don't know why people are acting surprised. We've been speaking about this for a long time.
Aziz, I want to add to what you said. I wasn't born before the revolution, so I wasn't here to know. But from what I've heard, you are right. The king of Iran wasn't good. He was a brutal man. However, he never killed its people the way IRGC has been killing our people. When people said we don't want you, if you open your mic, if you can't hold on and mute your mic, we're gonna.
Yeah, no, I'll mute.
Okay, thank you. So when people said we don't want you, he left. He left the country instead of killing people. So whatever bad he was, IRGC multiplied that by 1,000. IRGC are like they have nothing. They have no morals. They have no care. They don't care about their own people. They don't care about anybody. They do care about the Shias. You know, they have a different mission than running, you know, a country. So it was just a lot different for saying that. So I just wanted to add that for people who.
No, Sarah, you're right. You're right, and I understand. You could argue that the IRGC are more brutal than the Shah. I get that as well. But what I mean to say is, you know, I can't imagine the outcome of military aggression towards Iran in the capacity that we're seeing right now having a positive. I understand the hurt of the Iranian people. I get it, obviously. And sometimes you're hurt so much, you kind of want to see pain inflicted on the people that hurt you, right? So I get it, right? But I do think there's a bit of tunnel vision here. I think when it comes to Netanyahu, he has his personal ambition, which has nothing to do with the Iranian ambition. And I think, I just worry that it will become Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq. You know, those guys had terrible leaders as well.
Aziz, America stayed in Afghanistan for 20 years. Do you agree or not? We tried to modernize them. Do you agree or not?
Yeah,
we tried to change them and modernize them, you know, and it was a very difficult thing to do. But you cannot compare Iran to Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, Afghan people, they don't really wanted their women to learn and go to school. In Iran, we have more higher education, like educated women than
Wait, how do you know that?
Men work more because there are statistics. Men work more than women do. Hey,
European
please,
version.
please. I'm freaking Iranian and you're not. So the fact that you asked me how do I know that, it's kind of funny and ridiculous.
No. I asked you that question because you said what you said. Yeah, not even you. You
didn't even let me finish my sentence.
Okay,
you know. Yeah, so Iranian people, they have a different culture. You know, they have a different culture. They already are westernized. You know, they're very different. Persian women are very well educated. There are very few jobs in Iran women can't have. Like, we don't have women judges, even under IRGC. You know, like Saudi, till 3 years ago, women couldn't drive. Iran is very modernized. We don't have those issues. You can go to you can study any degree you want in college, and you can get any job. There are very, very few jobs. Like, I told you, like, being a judge, women can't be in Iran. It's like two different scenarios, two different, you know, situations. And honestly, I see it the opposite of you. I feel like Bibi, at this point, he actually, his enemy of enemy is his best friend. And at this point, to bring stability in the region, he needs a stable Iran that is like separate from religion, where they're not going to be keep training and funding the terrorists to attack them. Now, I'm not saying I'm correct, but that is, you know, how I see it, though.
No, Sarah, you know, you're right. I understand where you're coming from, and maybe Afghanistan's a bad example. I think Libya would be a better example, right? If you look at the potential for Libya before Gaddafi was killed, they were the only African country that wasn't in debt. That, you know, if you were a married couple, you get $50,000 US dollars, the equivalent. You were immediately housed. You know, they were very stable. They were about to build a currency based on the gold standard. You know, they were set up to go, right? And you know, when Gaddafi was taken out, regardless of the potential of the nation, because I do think Iran has a lot of potential, right? The people are very educated, they're very intelligent. You know, it's a big country, a good population, good diaspora. But when I look at the Libyans were similar at a point, but when you destabilize the leadership to that degree, especially with like shellings and bombings, right? And you're hitting the oil fields and you're hitting some of the supply chain. It just has a lasting negative effect. Now, I understand.
My question is, what are we replacing it with?
Yeah.
Who are we replacing it with?
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna put a monkey there? Are we gonna put the next thing? Are we gonna put the Israeli puppy there? Are we gonna put the American puppy there? The British puppy there? Who are we putting up there?
And another thing,
but that's not for you to worry, Saud.
Wait, you're telling me that's not. You're telling me that's not something to worry. You just said you wanted to get away. You said madam. You said you wanted to run away from something. So I'm asking, what are we replacing with it? Because I get you want to run. What are we replacing with?
Who's replacing it with? That's not for you to choose.
Can somebody give it to her? Because apparently I'm not speaking English.
No. This is going to be for Iranian people to topple the regime. No one's expecting Israel. Nobody wants Israel to
coming for it.
You don't
It's
know
everybody
that
else's opinion.
I don't know what you're saying, but we don't know if America's planning on attacking, if this is a strategy to sign a peace deal. If we don't know what.
So wait, are we forgetting about all them planes that are arriving in the next door neighbor? Are we forgetting about that?
I have a question for Sarah.
Did we see
Sarah. Sarah, I have a question for you. You mentioned early on, I was listening to you very well from the beginning. You said that America should be involved to help Israel because he's scared that the Palestinians.
I never said America should be involved. Miss Clark said Iran is not a threat to America, and I told her it is. I never said that was not what I said. See,
Okay,
the problem with social media is that people just, interpret everything differently, and they just imply things and they assume stuff.
Let me ask my question. Let me ask my question.
And can I speak after him?
Yeah. 1 second. So you think Iran is a threat to America, right? And so the question is this, all right? America have said a lot of warning against Yemen, my country, Yemen. Okay, they've said a lot of warning. They want to try to get rid of, even bombing the country, bombing the airport, or whatever. Does America have right to go and to involve in other country when there's a war?
Look, I cannot give you any answers. Let me tell you why.
Yeah, you cannot because let me finish.
Because I do not even know where Yemen is in. That's the difference between
Let me finish.
and a lot of people have an opinion.
Let me finish my point. Okay, you don't know. That's my point. You don't know. So you don't know. So the point, Sarah, listen. If there's a war between two countries, another country get involved, what do you expect? The Muslim land will be kept quiet and that you guys killing the Palestinian people? Or if Iran get involved? I agree with you. I agree with you in a sense. For example, the Houthis, they're killing the Sunni brothers in Yemen, for example.
Okay, hold on.
I'm against them.
We got a breaking news. Hold on. Is this breaking news or not? No, I just saw it posted. We now have complete and total control over the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made. This is Donald Trump.
Yeah, forget Donald Trump. Forget him for now.
I knew.
I don't care. Donald Trump.
He wanted to jump in and take credit for what Israel did.
Listen, my friend. Let me finish, Sarah. Can I just finish, guys? Can I just finish? Listen. If you listen to Donald Trump,
talk about Yemen, we're gonna have to I have to tell you the fact that people
let me
in other topics.
All right. Let me go back to Iran. No problem, because you cannot handle the other point.
No,
let's return back to
not handling it. I literally told you this.
Let me. Let me.
Don't do that.
I control.
Listen, I told you I don't know where Yemen is. And
That's fine.
If you interrupt me one more time, I will have to move you.
You're interrupting me.
Because you're talking about something that I keep telling you it's irrelevant to this conversation. And no, you're not going to.
He hasn't finished his thought. That's what he's trying to do.
Because I told it. He asked me a question. I said, I don't know where on the map
That's fine.
Or
That's
why
fine.
US or Yemen have issues. So no, he's not going to make a point about that.
Okay, let's return.
Do you know about this? Can you
let's return
to him or say
let's return to Iran. Let's return to Iran because you're from Iran, right? So the question is this: if you think Iran has a nuclear weapon and have all this, do you think if they want to take action in America, they just kept quiet and take the action? They could have start bombing America a long time ago, but they're not stupid. They will take law and let other countries get involved. They're not that stupid, right? The point is this: why Americans are getting involved? They have no right to get involved. If they're getting involved now, America, other countries will get involved. Simple as that. You think why are you
getting involved right now, though? Britain.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. Because the reason why, because in America, what they're doing. You've seen the video, guys. It's very clear. The video of Palestine. They're trying to take over Palestine. I'm telling you one thing, guys. Before I leave, Palestine will always be free and nobody will take over. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It will remain free. It will remain. Okay, let me land my point.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
Palestine's
guys.
not free.
You know,
Sarah,
that
can
is
I
not,
ask you a question?
Allah, why
that
did
is
he
not
do
what we're
that?
gonna do.
Sarah, can I ask you a question?
Well,
Sure.
I thought I was
Yeah.
supposed to speak after him.
No, you can go for it.
no, it was her. It was the sister. It was the sister.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So let me say this, because I don't want my words misconstrued. Sarah, I never said that Iran isn't a threat to America. What I said was they know who and how to fuck with people. Because as the gentleman just said before he left, they can play that missile game shit with y'all. They can prod and test the waters with y'all. They know better than to do it with America. And that has been my whole entire point. It's kind of like that, like I said, it keeps going back. I always use the schoolhouse analogies because they're easier to make sense of. It's like that kid who keeps poking and prodding and you slap their hands and then they want to get a little testing and you like square up. But they understand and they know damn well they don't have the capabilities to fuck with America like that, which is why I don't get why Israel and other places keep trying to be like, if you don't take out Iran, they're coming for you next. No, baby, they're not.
Okay, Miss
They're not.
Clark, so
Because
let
they
me ask you a question. Okay, go.
Okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Ask the question.
Okay, I understand. In this moment, right now, Iran cannot be a real threat to U.S. I get that. But let me ask you a question. Do you think if Israel wasn't in Middle East and all these countries like Lebanon, Hezbollah, Hamas, Palestine, do you think they would just live their life in peace and just let U.S. be?
I think they would.
Do you think if they would all be together, do you think that would make them strong enough to be a threat to America? If Israel wasn't there, let's say Israel is wiped out off of the map, which would never happen, right? Well, let's say, okay, Israel is gone, Palestine is there for them, which it's not even a real country, but let's say we have all of that. Are you telling me you don't see that a threat? Do you really believe that they're just gonna live their life and they're not gonna continue their ideology, which is destroying West, specifically America?
So let me say this. If Israel wasn't there, guess what? One of the mother countries would be the one that's getting dogged by it. I feel like that's more of the reality. They can still sit there and make their threats to America and da-da-da, but they're not about to sneak up like Voltron like that. Let's be 100% realistic about it. They're going to have their own internal beefs, and somebody's going to replace Israel. That is the reality of it. And once again, even if they all band together, no, I don't think that they fucking with America. No, they're not. That's just my opinion.
They fired thousands and three. They fired thousands. They already fucked up. They fired thousands and three of them landed. That's right.
No, they didn't. They fired like 5.
No,
3 or 4.
No,
they did not fire 1,000. They never fired 1,000 missiles.
Take a minute. Well, I'm using hyperbole. Take a minute right now and see how many missiles Iran has fired.
Do you know that, Norm?
Today, right now, like an hour ago. Go ahead.
You know the idea flooded a Hamas tunnel under the European hospital with cement. The operation was chosen as an alternative to bombing to allow the hospital to continue to function. That's incredibly humane, I must say.
That is
They found Mohammed Sinwar under the hospital.
They should have saved the cement. They're going to need it when they really cut it.
Facilities for Trump. And tonight, the Americans, I think, will be bombing.
Well, you couldn't do it by yourselves? You start a war and somebody else has to finish it?
Bombers? No,
Trump wants to join in.
You couldn't take on Hamas and you couldn't take on Iran.
Trying to be sending shipments to Iran, right?
You should know where your taxpayer.
But you should allow the American taxpayers that are being held hostage by your country, Israel, right now, to leave via Jordan or via. No, you're holding them hostage.
Incorrect. They are leaving. You're lying. The war in Gaza